Welcome back. On Viewpoint today, we address speculations about an imminent nuclear test by North Korea as the U.S. on this Monday marks Memorial Day in honor of all the military personnel who lost their lives serving their country. For more, I have Dr. Bruce Bennett from Rand Corporation here in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Bennett.
Thank you.
I also have Professor Kim Young-jun at the Korea National Defense University live on the line. Professor Kim, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Bennett, we'll start here in the studio then. Does North Korea have a history of provocations against countries during the latter's national holidays?
Oh, absolutely. Historically, North Korea launched missiles on July 4th to try and call attention. Kim is very expert, he and his father before him, very expert at catching American attention. Kim claims that he's the leader of a very powerful country. Well, if he's a leader of a very powerful country, he ought to get major attention in the United States and in other places. And to do that, he needs a little boost. And so he uses holidays as one way to do that.
Right. And against that background, Professor Kim, what are your thoughts on talks about a seventh nuclear test by North Korea within days?
Of course, already Dr. Bennett emphasized the seventh nuclear test is coming soon. The left thing is only timing. The U.S. intelligence agency, IAEA, and the Iraq Joint Chiefs of Staff all recognize that North Korea is a full lady for the seventh nuclear weapon test. And Kim Jong-un says now it's golden timing of the seventh nuclear weapon test as a warning sign to the Iraq and the U.S. So it'll be very soon, or before or after the Iraq-U.S. combined exercise this summer.
Right, I see. And Dr. Bennett, China and Russia recently vetoed a UN motion for stronger sanctions against North Korea, which was led by the U.S. in response, of course, to Pyongyang's latest missile tests. Do you predict a similar impasse within the UN Security Council, even in the event of a nuclear test by North Korea?
Oh, yes. I think China and Russia will continue to try to lower the sanctions, actually, on North Korea. They believe that we've gone too far, and they don't seem to be suffering the concerns of North Korean nuclear tests and missile tests the same way we are. We've got to try and make it clear to them. We need to demonstrate that if North Korea does an ICBM test, there are going to be serious implications of that. And then they may change their approach. But until we demonstrate that we're prepared to impose a penalty on North Korea that will be substantial, we're not going to get there.
Right, I see. And Professor Kim, pundits claim that Russia's invasion of Ukraine has perhaps confirmed to Kim Jong-un the importance of nuclear weapons in addressing external threats, and that accordingly talks, or calls that is, for complete denuclearization here on the Korean Peninsula will fall on deaf ears. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Russia-Ukraine war is better to the North Korea. Of course, Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons and believed security guarantee from the West at the time. But Ukraine is different from North Korea in some cases. Ukraine did not develop their nuclear weapons and did not have a command and country system because of Russia had. But the lesson of Russian-Ukraine war are clear. Self-defense capability is much more important than their alliance. So denuclearized Ukraine is now under attack from the nuclear Russia. So Iraq, Libya, and Ukraine lessons the North Korea as a negative lesson for denuclearization.
Right. And Dr. Bennett, then staying with that, given the tragic events unfolding over in Ukraine, it appears highly unlikely that North Korea will surrender its nuclear ambitions. And given this scenario then, what are your thoughts on the feasibility of the South Korean and the US policy of denuclearization here on the Korean Peninsula?
Well, I think going to zero nuclear weapons isn't going to happen. So do the South Korean people. The polls indicate that very few people believe that will ever happen. The key question is, can we slow their production initially and eventually bring them down to a lower level? Their level is way above what they need for deterrence purposes, which they claim to be their major objective. 25 nuclear weapons would be quite ample for that. You can demonstrate that analytically. And yet they're probably up in the 50 or so range, maybe 100. So what we've got to do is to stop their production, which the IAEA chief says is going full bore straight ahead. And we've got to then try to lower them But getting to zero, that's just not going to be feasible.
Right, so that's not likely then. Professor Kim, during the first 5 months of this year alone, North Korea has tested its missile capabilities on 17 different occasions. How do you explain the frequency and also the variety of missile tests?
Yes, North Korea has its own schedule for developing missile capability regardless of the international situation. And North Korea clearly know China and Russia will never join any US-led UN sanction against North Korea for the next few years because of the international situation. So North Korea enjoyed this golden opportunity and seems to give up any negotiation or talks with the US and the new ROK administration for the next 5 years. So. And also another thing is that domestically, North Korea needs strong defense capability because now it's face difficulty of economy and COVID-19 situation.
Right, it is, of course. And Dr. Bennett, contrary to expectations, though, North Korea's latest act of provocation did not take place during President Biden's Asia trip. Some scholars say that this inaction, perhaps, on North Korea's part was an indication of its wariness. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think we have to remember that just because President Biden was here didn't mean North Korea was ready for a test. I mean, remember, North Korea's Hwasong-17 test back in March blew up less than 20 kilometers above the airport where it was launched. They can't be ready every day for doing it. We don't know if they were ready or not. So we don't know whether the signal they were sending was, we're being a little bit careful, or whether the signal they were sending was, we just weren't ready. I mean, look at it. What happened? They still had one missile that completely failed. That is an indication that they weren't as ready as they would have wanted to be.
Right. And Professor Kim, shortly after North Korea launched its missiles on Thursday last week, that is, South Korea and US militaries each launched a land-to-land missile, one to the east coast, of course, and some 30 South Korean fighter jets performed an elephant walk, if you will, on the tarmac. How do you interpret these responses?
Yeah, unfortunately, on the Korean Peninsula, arms race and the new Cold War already began. When the President Moon and the President Trump left the Blue House and the White House, Kim Jong-un sent a farewell letter to the President Moon, and the nuclear experiment was over. So now the Cold War began, and North Korea will never negotiate with the Yoon administration and the Biden administration. So even if the maybe Trump reacted as the president in 2024, or Democratic Party of the ROK with the presidential election in 2027, North Korea will sink again. But until then, the new Cold War will be continue, and provocation leading human casualty will be happen very soon, like the Yeonpyeong Island attack or Cheonan sinking incident.
Right, that is quite a bleak outlook, of course. Dr. Bennett, North Korea's state-run media has been unusually silent about the country's latest missile launches. What are your thoughts regarding this particular silence?
Well, I think in part they don't want to aggravate the situation any more than necessary. Also, we don't know how extensive the failures were. Remember that right after the Hwasong-17 failed in March, North Koreans were going around in the area saying, oh, it was just liars who said that that missile failed. There wasn't any launch. So I think they're being very careful. They've had another failure. They may have had others. I mean, when we previously saw 3 missiles launched, the launcher carries 4 missiles and yet only 3 launched. So they're concerned that their performance isn't necessarily what Kim needs. What does Kim have that creates him as a great leader? His military, his missiles, his nuclear weapons. It's not food, it's not industry, it's not diplomacy. He's got to have nuclear weapons and missiles as the key to demonstrating his people his empowerment. And that he's going to be very careful about.
Right. And keeping in mind what Dr. Bennett has just said, then, Professor Kim, what do you propose in dealing with North Korea, perhaps then, to ensure peace and stability here in this part of the world? I mean, against the grim background that you drew, of course, earlier.
Unfortunately, in the US-China competition and the Russian-Ukraine war, it is almost impossible for peace on the Korean Peninsula for a while. North Korea problem is not independent. It's part of the international situation problem. So North Korea now see old friends like China and Russia as a partner, while the new Iraq administration will join the Quad or Five Eyes country as well as the security cooperation with Japan and the US. So there is almost no chance for peace and stability with North Korea. And North Korea have not traditionally believed conservative government in South Korea.
Right, unfortunately. Dr. Bennett, this year also marks the 140th anniversary of diplomatic ties between South Korea and the US. That being said, what looks to be the toughest challenge to bilateral ties as we look ahead to greater collaboration?
Well, I think we have to figure out how to deal with the evolving threat. You know, having nuclear weapons in North Korea, not one or two or three, but maybe 50 or 100 nuclear weapons, that really changes the nature of the alliance. We've got to be prepared to deal with that, not treating it as just a little bit of an extension on conventional warfare. This is a huge change. It's not the way we dealt with it in Europe. In Europe in the 1980s, we viewed that conventional and nuclear warfare were going to happen simultaneously. And we had to prepare for the two to integrate and make sure we were going to succeed to the two at the same time. That's a challenge which our two countries haven't worked out in terms of working with each other, and a real opportunity because that's the future, and that's where we can build deterrence, I believe, that will bring peace and security. You have a child who's misbehaving as a teenager, you don't turn to him and say, oh, it's okay, go right ahead, no problem. You try to impose some discipline while showing increased love, and that combination, just like President Kim Dae-jung said in his inaugural address almost 25 years ago, that combination is what it is going to take.
Right. And Professor Kim, you mentioned COVID-19 earlier on. How does North Korea's campaign, that is, against the pandemic, look to perhaps affect Kim Jong-un's power over his people, do you think?
Yeah, today COVID-19 situation is not good for North Korea. But anyway, North Korea Kim's regime survived in the 1990 famine. So COVID-19 is almost nothing compared to 1990. So North Korea will seek anyway its survival strategy by seeking vaccination for Russians from China. And North Korea-China-Russian partnership will be strengthened against the US, Iraq, Japan cooperation. So with China and Russian support, no problem for North Korea, the survival of Kim's regime.
Right. And going back to your comments about what former President Kim Dae-jung said about engaging North Korea, then, do you suppose that North Korea's challenges against COVID-19 could perhaps serve as opportunities for constructive engagement between the international community and Pyongyang?
Oh, absolutely. I think we have wonderful opportunities. Again, you have to offer a carrot and a stick. You can't just apply the stick. You've got to try and indicate to North Korea, we're not hostile towards the North. That's not what we have in mind. We're simply trying to rein in their misbehavior. And if you look at it, who's more hostile, Kim or Biden? I think Kim is far more hostile. So we've got to try and create an image in North Korea and in South Korea and in China and the United States that we're trying to rein this in, and to do so, we've got to have an innovative approach. We've got to be rethinking our opportunities.
Right. And talking about innovative approach, Dr. Bennett, do you suppose that the Biden administration may adopt the strategic patience policy that the Obama administration adopted? I ask because there are concerns about how this calls for denuclearization, in the absence of engagement efforts, may simply provide North Korea with just more time to advance their nuclear capabilities. What are your thoughts?
You may remember in April last year, in 2021, the White House concluded their North Korea policy study. And when the White House press advisor made her statement, she said, we are no longer going to do strategic patience. She completely ruled it out. And the next day or so, President Biden said, no, we're going to apply stern deterrence from now on. And yet they've done the opposite. They've done the continued, largely speaking, strategic patience. So now there needs to be a change. But my sense is this is really an opportunity for President Yoon. You know, the U.S. is really tied up with the Ukraine situation, with Russia threatening to go nuclear potentially. This is a time where the Yoon administration, working with the Biden administration, really ought to take the initiative. And we're not going to negotiate with Kim. He refuses to do that. But why give him the initiative? Why don't we take it back and put a proposal on the table? We know his military is hearing outside information. So why don't we put a proposal on the table that would be attractive and make the next steps?
Right, by the Yoon administration then.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Working with the Biden administration.
Of course. All right, Dr. Bennett, as always, thank you very much for your insight and your time today. And Professor Kim, thank you very much for your thoughts as well.
Thank you very much.